everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Wednesday Wisdom, the initiative from District 98. Before starting, I would like to state the mission of our district. And the mission is we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. I would also like to share that the idea about having the Wednesday Wisdom is to help and support all the clubs. The regular education sessions on varied interest and support to clubs and members will be conducted on certain Wednesdays of the month. In case of any specific ask, please reach out to Program Quality Director Office, making lives of ExCom and clubs easier. Now I would like to introduce our today's trainer, and it gives me immense pleasure and privilege to introduce distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan Barretto. He is a certified trainer, public speaker, behavioral assessor, and a passionate Toastmaster. He works as a group manager, project management office at AI Sayer Holding based in Kuwait. Cajetan joined Toastmasters in August 2017 and in a short period has completed CCCL 4 times, ALB, club sponsor, club mentor, 5 paths in the Pathways education system, and is currently pursuing pathway number 6. He served as club president, VP education, area director, and division director for District 20. Serving in Kuwait and Bahrain. He achieved Distinguished Toastmaster status in June 2020. And he was also awarded the prestigious District Toastmaster of the Year for 2018-19 during DTAC 2020. So with the huge round of applause, I would like to invite today's trainer and speaker, Distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan. Congratulations, all the best, and the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Praveena. It's a pleasure to be here today on this Wednesday evening, a very apt title, Wednesday Wisdom, and I hope I can share a little bit of my wisdom among you all. Not that you all don't have it, but I consider myself a trainer, and when I come on the training field such as this, I don't come with the intention that I know more than you. As a collective, I believe we know everything that is to know. The whole idea is to share and learn from each other, and I'll try to keep this session as interactive as possible. We will have some exercises. I want your participation. This is not me telling you, do this, do that, this is the way to do. It's more about how can we do something better. So that's what I'm here for today. And today I want to focus on 2 parts of it. Canva, of course, is a tool that most of us are using to create communication in Toastmaster clubs. But I want to focus more on how we can use it to create brand communication. And this is a session I have done in many districts over the last 1 or 2 years. And most of us who check the various groups or publicity that we produce from our clubs, if you really think about it, I believe we follow the 80-20 or the Barretto principle. 80% of the brand communication that I see is not brand compliant, and 20% is. And why is that? And those are the type of questions I would like to answer today, and perhaps show you how we can easily translate branding in Canva to quickly make content for your club, for your area, for your district or a division. And I go by the very simple principle. We shouldn't be wasting a lot of time to create content. Sometimes some VPPRs get frustrated. I spend days creating a poster. It shouldn't be like that. because we have been provided with the tools that we should be using, and we should use those tools to deliver results quickly and consistently. And how do we do that? Before we proceed, as mentioned by a host, I am a certified trainer. I love photography, scuba diving, and I'm also a certified kettlebell trainer and an overall geek. Some of my media presence as far as photography is concerned, on Facebook, it's Barretto Photography. On Instagram, it's Dust Storm Kuwait. Though I have not been very active on either of these platforms ever since COVID hit us. And I couldn't go out with my camera gear and enjoy photography. Instead, what I did is I took all the camera gear and converted it into a YouTube studio that you see in front of you. And I started creating content, especially for Toastmasters, on my YouTube channel, Tech for Toastmasters. Some of you might have encountered it. If not, feel free to check it out. During the session, as far as possible, try to keep your microphone muted, and I will ask you all to interact at the right times. Use the speaker view. Right now, I put myself on spotlight, so that should be fine. And do keep your queries in chat. I will try to address the queries that you post either during the session or at the end, where I have kept some time for Q&A. So this is generally what I want to cover today, the branding, the Toastmaster brand elements, how we can translate that into Canva. I want to do a group activity with you all so that we convert something that is not brand compliant into brand compliant content. I've kept a Q&A session for 10 minutes. I hope that is enough, and I will try to finish exactly at 10 o'clock. So the branding is the promotion of a particular product or a company by means of advertising and distinctive design. That's branding. I would like you all to, in the chat, let me open the chat first. Tell me, what do you, or which product or company do you associate when you see this? And as usual, my good friend Anandata Murali is right off the mark. Everyone, I think, can associate this with McDonald's. And let's see who gets this first. All right, so most of you know that Just Do It is a brand element of Nike's. When you see it, you know that's Nike's shoes and sporting goods, maybe t-shirts. What about this? A little obscure perhaps, but I'm sure many of you all know this brand element, the happiest place on earth. Do you know where it is? Okay, many of you all got it. It's Disneyland or Disney. What about this? Twitter. Great. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there is, Anand says, MasterCard. This is a phrase that has been sort of, MasterCard has invested over the many years creating this in our minds that MasterCard is there for everything that you want to buy. What about this? Leaders are made. Where leaders are made is right where we belong in Toastmasters, right? So branding is where companies invest, not necessarily in logos, or it's just the visuals. So when you see it, it could be a sign, it could be a slogan, and they copyright it, they trademark it so that it identifies them. And Toastmasters has done a couple of things to identify Toastmasters. And so today I want to focus on this Toastmaster visual brand elements. What constitutes, I'm sure all of you know it, but let us try and understand what those are. So I'm just going to open Canva, not to show you how to create designs, but I want to use it as a whiteboard for my activities that I want to do. I will create a blank design because I want to use this as a whiteboard for us to discuss about the Toastmasters brand elements. And do you know what's the first brand element that you all can, and I will now allow you all to unmute yourself so that we can have a more engaging experience here. And let me do that. So what's the first brand element that you all can think of when you talk about Toastmasters?
Color.
Logo.
Colors. Okay, so somebody said colors. Anything else?
Logo.
Logo, great.
Tagline.
Fonts.
Fonts, excellent.
The tagline where leaders are made.
That is
Yes,
part of logo.
yeah, that's part of the logo, I would say. All the brand elements related to taglines, different kinds of logos that are available, lock-up logos or not, that's fine. But anything else you can think of?
We call it gradients. What do you call something?
So we have, let me just put it in text boxes, all the things that we have just heard from you all. So we said that we have colors, and we said we have logos, right? And we said we have
Gradients.
fonts. Somebody said fonts, right?
Yeah,
Who's
me.
fonts?
Pictures.
And
Pictures.
can you say that properly?
Pictures. Those things
Pictures,
which can be
okay,
used
yeah,
or we
pictures,
cannot use.
images. Let's call them
Images.
images or photos or images.
Gradients.
Well, isn't that a color?
Yeah, okay. It's part of color, yes.
Right. So we are talking about essentially 4 visual elements that we can use in creating a visual communication, be it a poster, be it anything that we want to do in when we want to communicate about Toastmasters, about a club or area, division, district, and so forth. Okay, so let's start with colors. I'll create a fresh page and I say we are discussing colors. And I don't want to go to the brand manual and say this is the color, that is the color. I want you all to tell me when you talk about brand colors of Toastmasters. By the way, what's the brand color? One of the brand colors of McDonald's? Anybody remember?
Red, brown, red.
Yellow.
Yellow. For
Okay.
me, when I see yellow, that's McDonald's. But what about Toastmasters? What did they decide upon?
Brown and blue. New.
So we have, first of all, you have a color called brown. Let's talk
Maroon.
real names.
Maroon.
Real names of
Burgundy.
Burgundy. Okay. Anybody else?
Maroon.
Maroon, I want it to be more precise. I want you all to talk about Toastmaster colors in the names that Toastmasters has given us.
Cool gray. True maroon and cool gray.
Cool maroon? No, I don't have anything called cool maroon.
True maroon.
True maroon. Okay, Ananda Ashok got it right. So let's start with that. True maroon.
Cool gray.
Cool gray. Somebody said, and that's Murali.
Royal blue.
Loyal blue. Okay, so these are the 3 colors that we have. And let's color them in their actual colors. So true maroon, I want to put it in the color of true maroon. Do you all know what that code is, or what is the color if I were to select from this color wheel in
772432.
Okay, that's my wife. I think she's PPPR.
You understand voice.
So one thing about colors, whenever you're like, let's say I'm creating this content, forget about what's there on this design. When I'm creating a content and I want to color this in true maroon, of course, right now it's in black, but I want to color this in true maroon. The way to do that, of course, is to select this color wheel here in Canva. And of course, there are different ways we can choose colors. Of course, one of the thing is to select this plus sign that you see here and say, okay, somewhere this must be maroon, right? And if I did this, most people would not say that there is any problem here. It looks maroon, correct? Anybody says this is not true maroon? Who says yes or no? Any feedback from you?
It is maroon. I don't know whether it's true maroon, but it's maroon.
You know it is maroon, but you cannot be sure it is as per the color code given to us by TI, right? And Anand has told me that I should be using a code called 772432. And I write it down here. So Anand, take you 772432. That's the code associated with it. Right? This is the code. Let me check whether this actually is the same color. So I will again click on this and I will see the color that I have is actually, it says when I highlight this color that I have on my document, it says it's 471313. So it's maroon, but it's not the precise maroon of Toastmasters. So how do I get it? I will type here in this box on top the code that has been given to me by Anand, 772432. And when I do that, now I can be confident because I typed the precise code that this is true maroon. The same thing I will do for cool gray. If somebody can tell me what that color is for cool gray.
A9B2B1.
Okay, so we have hex experts in the audience, A9B2B1. So you all should, whenever you all are having whenever you all are creating content in Canva, especially if you are doing it with the free version, which doesn't allow you to create this color palettes in advance, what we call brand
palette.
Yeah, the brand palettes. What we can do is, what I normally do is, even though I have been doing this for ages, I have with me the TI color codes printed always in front of my computer. Because I forget, this hex codes can sometimes be quite difficult to remember. So if I want to do this, I will again do color here. And I type in the box A9, B2, B1. And I will get this cool gray color. And I know this is precisely the color that I want. So I have true maroon. Make a note of that if you all don't know it. And then finally, I have the loyal blue, which is the, let's see in the chat, anybody has figured that?
004165.
Oh, okay.
Right. So that is, for this, it is 004165. Okay. So these are your three primary colors of Toastmaster brands. By the way, do you know what these hex codes mean? Those of you who are in computers probably know it, but in essence, any hex code can be broken down into three parts. Okay, 00 is the first color, 41 is the second color, and 65 is the third color. That's actually the RGB space, red, green, blue. And as you know, any computer monitor is made up of three primary colors, and you mix them up to give you that right color code. Which brings me to the color of the background that I have here, which is white. Do you know the color of white?
6 times F.
White is actually the same thing. It is, if I click on the color, it is F, 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 F. And F is essentially what it tries to say is that maximum of red, maximum of green, maximum of blue. The brightest, when you mix them up, you get white. And you know what is black?
0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, that means there is no green, no red, no blue. If there is, it's the absence of colors. So absence of colors is also considered as a color. But so white is, I will put it as FF. This is how it is. And then you have black, which is essentially
For white DTM Cajetan is required to fill the code.
not necessarily. If your eyesight is very good, when you click on it, you may say that this is white, then you can check if it is white, that's fine. But sometimes it can be a little deceiving, it might not be precisely white. And there's a final color in the palette that you are allowed to use in Toastmasters. Do you know what that is?
Happy yellow.
Happy yellow. Can somebody tell me when you should use happy yellow?
It's an accent color. So whenever.
So
The
happy
logo.
yellow is considered as what we call an accent color. Accent essentially means, and the color is, by the way, let me just put it here. It's F2 DF74, right? So that's the colors. So let me just type it here. F2 DF74. That's the happy yellow. So this is your color palette. The only thing you need to do when you're talking about background and foreground, when you're designing, is to make sure that your background or whatever you're writing on and the foreground have a contrast. So for example, if I was to change this background to true maroon, which is considered a dark color. So when I'm writing on this color, it would be fine to use cool gray. It would be fine to use happy yellow, even black. Now let me change this to white, by the way, just so that we have that idea of what is. Yeah, so because it's a dark color, I could write using the cool gray. I could write using white, happy yellow. But it won't be a good idea to use loyal blue because you can see your eyes hurt when you look at it. So always maintain that contrast. If I was to make this background as cool gray, then you can use, for example, this is a light color. So you could use all the dark colors, okay, but maybe not happy yellow because it might not be so easy to do. So look at it from that perspective. Contrast, light versus black. Light versus dark is how you should deal with it. Let me change this back to yellow. White. So that is colors and contrast. Let's talk about the second element, which was mentioned as what? Logos. Where do I get the logo from? Go to your favorite website in Toastmasters and go to resources and go to brand portal. Anybody who wants to create content should have this as your shortcut because all that you need is over here. And if you go to logos and design elements, you will find them here. So there are various logos available. Depending upon your need, you can choose whatever you want. Especially when you're working in Canva, I would always recommend that you all use the PNG logos. They are the type of format which are higher resolution. And most important is that they are transparent. What do I mean by transparent? Let me show you. Let me go back to my design here in Canva. I will change this to one of the brand colors. Let's say this. I want to create a design with dark blue. Let me go to Toastmaster website and choose the JPG option of the logo, the color one, which is this, which we are all familiar with. And the best way to get logos from Toastmasters into Canva is to simply right click on it and say copy image, and then come to your Canva poster and press Ctrl V. Now you notice when I say transparent, this is coming exactly with a white background, right? Let me go back to Toastmaster website and choose the PNG option. If I choose the PNG option and I select the same steps, right click, copy image, go back to my design in Canva and Control V to paste it here. What's the difference? Have you understood the difference between the
No
JPG
white patch.
PNG?
Yes, the background is not there, so it looks merged
Yeah.
to the.
So it's easier to work with, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So always go for PNG. Whatever logo you decide to choose from here, from this, sorry. Whatever logo you decide to choose from here, whether it is grayscale or whether it is white, Pathways logo, choose PNG when you're working with Canva. Okay, the third thing we talked about is fonts. And fonts, we can go and work with this itself. When we talk about fonts, what are the different fonts that can be used by us? Let's see in the chat, or you can unmute. Tell me. Anybody?
Montserrat. Myriad Pro.
Or source sans pro.
Yes. So, okay, let me open a new page just to explain that and change the color to white. So when it comes to fonts, we have two fonts provided to us by Toastmasters. One, let me call it a font for headings and subheadings. So we should use one font, and there is another font we can use for the body. All right. So when it comes to the headings, we have the brand font, which is actually Gotham. This is the font we should be using. And if you can't get hold of the Gotham font, then we are allowed to use, if we are not able to get hold of Gotham, then we can use Montserrat. So these are the two options. We'll look at how they look. I just want to write it down. For the body, anybody? Myriad Pro, yes. So the official font of Toastmasters for body is Myriad Pro. But if you can't get hold of it, do you know what that is?
Arial.
Arial.
So Sans Pro. Okay. Essentially, these are your options. Arial is generally not recommended. It is what we call cross-device font. That means if you are creating some content, but you want to share it with somebody else so that they can work on it, and you are not sure whether they have any of these fonts, then you can just use Arial. But if you're creating a design and outputting it, and you have access to these fonts, then ideally you shouldn't be even using Arial in such cases. So how do we see the Gotham font? First of all, the free version of Canva doesn't allow you to, it doesn't have Gotham font. So if you're working in Canva, your only choice for headings and subheadings is Montserrat. So when I look at this text and I want to change this to Montserrat, I can see here in the drop down, I can have all the fonts that are supported by Canva. And I can just type in the box here, Montserrat. And I have the various versions of Montserrat here. Montserrat Classic, Montserrat Extra Bold. You can choose any one of them. It doesn't matter.
Cajetan is it available in Norman one also, or only for Pro or something like that?
Which one? The Gotham?
Yeah, not Gotham. This monster, you have various types.
Yeah. I'm using the free version. That's why
Okay.
I'm not using my pro version, just to make sure that I am using a tool that all of you will be using. So whatever I'm doing here is accessible to all of you.
Okay.
Then the body has to be Myriad Pro. But again, if I click here and search for Myriad Pro, you will not have it, right? It's not available. So for us in Canva, the option given is to use Source Sans Pro. So we can use this. So that is how your body and your headings, your headings and your body should look. These are the two fonts. Anything else, if you use, is not really part of the Toastmaster brand elements. And finally, we have the images. Can somebody unmute themselves and say what kind of images we can use?
Happy mood, or not individual photos, group photos, nature,
Nature.
No animal.
no animal, no child, no food materials.
Okay, instead of saying the negative part, don't use this, don't use that. I don't like to use the word don't. It's kind
Happy
of negative
situations.
connotations, right?
Club meeting experience.
Yes,
Something
you should put an
engaged, supportive.
image that, yes, supportive. You should have an image that conveys what Toastmasters is about. You shouldn't put images, I use the word shouldn't, but you should put images that convey what Toastmasters is all about. And that is a place to communicate and to, gain leadership skills. Think about that. What image conveys communication and what image conveys leadership in a supportive environment? The club mission. So you have to always think about that. What image conveys that you are learning something in a supportive environment,
Group meetings.
positive environment, right? So let's talk about a meeting. If I want to search images, there are many ways to do that, by the way. You could take a photo and put it up there. Maybe a meeting photo. You could go to Toastmaster website and search for the photos. You can use photos from Canva itself, which are available here in the left-hand side called photos. And let me search for a photo, let's say, of a meeting randomly. And I'll put up a photo and you tell me whether you think this can work. It's a pro photo. I can't use it as is because I have to pay it something for it. But there are many free photos. Let me choose something that is free. What about this?
Yeah,
Do you think
it looks.
embodies
work.
Toastmasters
use.
International?
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody
work,
says
yeah.
no can say why. And if you say yes, then fine. But if you say no, maybe I can take some feedback from you.
I think this photo should not be used because the person, the photo should be something like that, like a person is addressing the entire crowd, not to an individual, right? And this seemed to be a corporate meeting, not a Toastmaster meeting, in my
But
opinion.
we have Toastmaster corporate clubs too, right? So this could be a corporate club.
Okay, I was
Maybe
not
he has
aware of
just. Oh, okay. So that's a big story by itself, because now, Toastmasters Pathways Education is well suited to empower employees to gain their skills. So we encourage companies to start clubs within the working hours. And there are clubs, especially in Bangalore. If you go, most of the big companies like Infosys, Wipros, they have Toastmasters Club. They meet during their lunch break, sometimes just for 1 hour. And so corporate environment and Toastmasters does go well in hand because we are empowering them to become better communicators and leaders. So in principle, I don't think there is any problem with such an image because it does show people who are engaged, supportive to each other, positive, and maybe they're learning something. So if you can find an image like this, or an image of your club, or an image of a contest that is happening where somebody is speaking, or you can, of course, go to your favorite place, which is the resources, brand portal. And we have something called leveraging the brand. It used to be on the left-hand side before, but suddenly for some reason, they decided to hide it inside this sub-menu. And as most of you all know, Toastmasters is experiencing a lot of difficulties these days, but professional images is here. And you can see all these images, right? So as you can see, some of them look like the image I just showed you, right? This is not somebody speaking, they're just talking to each other. But this is from Toastmasters brand image. So all of these images we can use, people looking very empowered, positive, and same story. You can right-click, copy image, then go to your Canva. Let me remove this and press Control V. And you can, this is a brand image. Control C, Control V, and you're done. Of course, the other option is if you have your own photo that you have taken and you have it is on your computer, you can come here in the upload tool and you can upload files from your computer. And then drag and drop it here. So
Cajetan, I have got one question over here. Now, in the earlier slide, you have mentioned about JPG and PNG, I believe, whereby only the background used to get clear. Now, in this situation, how do we clear the blue background and only the face will reflect?
Okay,
or
so
will
that
appear?
is, yeah. One easy way, of course, is if you have the Pro version, then you can just click on this and you can see this option here called Edit Image, and you can remove the background. That's if you have the Pro account. But of course, most of us won't have it. So what's the other option? We have there's a website called remove.bg. Keep a note of it. This website allows you to upload any image.
Okay.
For example, the same one that I have here. And it will magically remove the background. So if I copy this image and I put it in my Canva, there you go, without the image. So remove.bg is the tool that you can use if you're using the free version of Canva. By the way, when we talk about Canva, clicking edit image, remove background, it has actually a partnership with remove.bg. So internally, it calls the website and does it for you automatically if you have the Pro account. Because probably they have some kind of a financial agreement, depending upon how many images are removed, they pay them something.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, as a final exercise, what I want to do is I want to open my Canva and ask you several questions. This is a poster that I created today, and I feel pretty proud about this. Do you think it is brand compliant based on what we have just gone through in terms of
The
colors?
red color.
Red, no.
No.
So you don't like red?
Large. Zoom into the picture.
Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to take it's an exercise now. We are going to fix this and make it brand compliant. because you are not happy with what I have done. So let's correct it. So let's say you have said the red is not correct. And you're right, of course, because we just went through the colors and we never saw red, right? We saw cool gray, we saw
True
true
maroon,
maroon, we saw royal blue.
happy yellow.
So let's change that red to one of those colors. Do you know which color would look okay there?
True
next to
maroon.
it? True maroon might look okay, right? Because it's very close to that red. So when we want to change colors, of course, we will select this element, which is the red element. It is already red here. I click on it and I can make sure that this true maroon 772432. Yeah, I already have it because I had maybe copied it before, but I will verify it by hovering over it to check what number it is, and I'll change it. All right,
Great.
so that color has been fixed. Who can identify the next problem and tell me how to fix
Font,
it?
Capital Speakers Toastmaster Club font.
Okay, Murali
Font
doesn't
size.
like the way I have written, even though I like it. It looks very nice, but you are saying I shouldn't. Okay, let's do that. So I will select the text box here.
Montserrat.
And what should I use? Source Sans Pro, Myriad Pro?
No, Montserrat. Because it's
Why
heading.
Montserrat? Can you tell
Heading.
them why I should use Montserrat here?
Heading.
Headings, we had just identified we should be using Montserrat. Okay, I'll listen to you.
Montserrat also, this is
I
not a
still
pro
select
icon.
this down arrow and I can choose Montserrat Classic or Montserrat Extra Bold. Let's see which one looks better.
Guruji, you don't have to listen to me. I'm listening to you and I'm your student.
Okay, so that looks fine. It fits there also. I'm okay. What else do you think I
to
can
join
change?
also? Is it also the same color?
I don't know. You tell me what is wrong and I can fix it.
And
The
this theme is not clearly
contrast.
seen.
Who said
Yellow.
that other than Anandata? Who
I
said
think
this
Anand.
is
Yeah.
Anand? Okay.
It's blurred. It's not clear.
Blurred. Tell me, why is it blurred?
Background.
No.
Because of
I
the
think
background, this color doesn't go well.
Shadow, there's a shadow in the back.
Dark color on a dark background. That's why
Yeah.
you all are finding it difficult to see what it is. So what color can I use there? Can you suggest?
So,
White or
happy.
Happy yellow.
Happy yellow? Anything? Okay. You
White
tell me.
will be better. White will be better actually.
Yeah, in fact, white will come out very well.
Okay. I listen. It's like a vote. If I hear the
White.
everyone says white. Okay, let's go with white.
Or we can maybe just keep the thing as it is and change the background to gray, cool gray.
No, we are only correcting things which are wrong, not
Okay.
changing anything. So we are just correcting things to make it brand compliant. So white is the choice from all of you all. So I'll go with white. What other colors I could have used there? Can you tell me? Which would have been okay?
Cool gray also.
Blue.
Cool
Royal
gray.
blue?
Let's try it.
No, true
Let's
maroon
try
would be
Yellow.
better. Contrast.
Cool gray. Looks okay.
La.
Okay.
No.
What about
Happy yellow.
happy yellow? Looks okay.
F2D, F74.
Yeah.
Yes,
So these are
this
the
is
colors
better.
I could use. But since you all have voted for white, let's go for white.
White is better.
Okay. What else?
Free
Image
to
also need to
girl's
change.
image.
The
Who said
lady's
image is
image
not-
with the mic.
Image with the
TI logo
mic is
placement.
not compliant.
Please
Image
tell me
has
which
clear.
image
children.
there are two images here. Which
The
image are
main
we-
image
The
also
one
need
with
to
the-
change because they're showing the children.
Yes.
Okay. And this image is of children. They are not of Toastmasters. You know how old you have to be to become a Toastmaster?
18.
18.
18 and above. So these are clearly less than 18 years old. So we cannot use them. If they were all above 18, if they were all above 18, I would allow it even if with all the balls there, because they could be learning something. It's a positive environment, but they're not above 18. So we can't use children's photos.
Boss, even the logo is
Let's-
attached
Let's remove, find a good photo from here that we can use. How about this?
Yes,
Copy
that's
it.
fine.
It may convey the message which is memories of youth. So maybe if we can.
Okay, let's fix one at a time. So I have a
So the
Change
photo
image
that is brand
which
compliant.
is similar to something which would have memories or more youth.
Memories of youth. Okay.
No, the
I
theme is okay, but they are meeting there with a theme. That's okay. But
yes, that's why I put that picture of children, because many times and I made that theme like that, because when you look at this theme, we try to put pictures that match the theme, but sometimes that is not right. Because memories of youth, you will try to find images of your youth. But if you are less than 18, then that doesn't convey the Toastmaster experience. So somehow either your theme has to be changed, or you have to live with by adapting the image to be brand compliant. Okay, so that's it. You can change the theme. There is no harm, but let's not go into it. You can still have a meeting called Memories of Youth, but the images shouldn't be matched to that unless they are compliant with the guidelines of people who are in a positive environment, learning environment, and so forth. What else? Any other problems?
The logo is touching the edges in the down, right?
Okay, so the logo has a lot of restrictions on how you should place it. And I will not go too much into details about it, but the important thing is the logo has to stand out, which means it shouldn't be connected to other elements like this. You shouldn't be keeping it on the corner. It should have what we call a breathing space. That means around the logo, there should be a clear demarcation of space. It can be here, it's fine. It can be here, it is fine. Wherever you place it, make sure that the logo stands on its own. Also, the logo should stand out. So if I have the logo, this is probably not a good idea because it's too small. You're not highlighting the brand element of the logo. So that's why you need to make it big enough so that it stands out. Anything else?
Saurabh has asked, can we make poster without Toastmaster logo?
You can, but still you have to follow the brand guidelines.
There's a clip art of a lady with a
Boss,
mic.
that lady with a mic has to be changed.
Yes, so many times we are kind of, we feel that we can use some kind of clip art to convey some messages, but we should stay away from clip art like this, as it is not part of the brand elements, so it has to go. And after that, maybe I can just resize, align it, and we are now reached a point where the poster that was having many issues from a branding perspective has now become a brand, 100% brand compliant.
There's a border pink in color.
Where?
The poster has a pink border, does it?
Oh, it doesn't. It might look like that due to the sharing of it. But
No,
this
when
is
you click or select any area, that's how
Okay.
borders are highlighted.
Okay. Yeah. So those are called guidelines. And this is part of Canva, where we can Canva, we can spend so much time, but Canva can be quite overwhelming because it has so many things you sometimes get confused. But if you approach Canva with the idea of what is brand elements, you can create a blank thing. And as I have shown you, put some fonts, put some images, copy paste them, bring the logo, and you have your poster. Don't get bogged down with all the other things that are there because they are not brand compliant. So it's best not to waste too much time on them. Of course, there are some elements that we can use, especially here in the left-hand side called elements, where we can use these shapes to create some kind of branding elements in our design. Maybe to highlight certain text, we can use elements like this. There are some elements which we call, let me show you. some elements called frames, which are also quite useful because what these frames allow you to do is create interesting ways of placing your visual images. So if you create a frame like this, and then you place any image inside it, it then gets framed around that. So you can play with frames, you can play with some of the shapes to create this brand elements. So now we have reached 50 minutes. For me, it passed so fast. In fact, this coming Friday, I am doing a similar workshop, but more interactive. And there I have scheduled 3 hours. And last time I did it, even 3 hours seemed to pass just like that when we are interacting and trying to understand Canva, branding, and how we can manage all of those things to create visually stunning communication about Toastmasters. So the next 10 minutes I will use to answer your questions, especially in Canva. If there are certain things that you would like to know, because I can't go into detail on each and every aspect of Canva, but branding, Canva, is there something that you would like me to explain why this and why not that? I'm free for you for the next 10 minutes.
Do we have to have a Gmail account to get Canva, a normal Canva?
Not at all. Actually, if I were to show you, let me log out. You can sign up for Canva using Facebook or email account or Gmail, any of these options. It's very easy.
It works with mobile number also.
Okay,
I see.
also,
Yeah, they keep on.
Cajetan,
Yeah, Canva keeps on evolving, and right now, in fact, they have something called a desktop app that allows you to really focus on the design aspects, and you can work on mobile. So you can create your design on the desktop, and the same can be then opened on your mobile, and you can continue working on that.
mention about your session on Friday for 3 hours.
I just realized there are 47 participants. That's amazing. Thank you for coming for this
What is the timing
session.
for Friday session? Cajetan?
Oh, that one is already booked more. I mean, that it is the way I am doing it. That is, I'm only taking 20 people so that we can have like interactions, breakout rooms, group discussions. So that was selected more than 10 days ago, and it was closed. So we are waiting for that session to start.
It got closed the moment you opened it.
Yeah, a lot of people are interested in such sessions because, today, this was more, as you said, Wednesday wisdom, where we share some things, but really, if you want to become good at it, the only way to do that is to practice it and do it yourself, share with others. So these longer sessions, that is what I try to do. I put you all in breakout rooms. I ask you all to create your own designs. I ask you all to interact with each other and then share it with one another. Can we click?
We will wait for the next session of 3 hours.
Hema wants to know whether we can have a recording of today's session. Please contact Pravina. She will because she has done the recording. Heshma says practice in progress. That's the only way, Heshma. You have to practice.
Thanks a lot.
And I hope if you all have any feedback about today's session, what you liked, what you didn't like, I'm always open for feedback to improve my future sessions.
Sir, I want to ask one thing. While making flyer, whenever I select one shape and I'm fixing image in it, it's means not perfectly fixed in it. So how I can make
So
it?
are you using a shape or are you using a frame?
Shape.
okay, shapes like this. This is a shape. And
Take
then
it
you
like this.
pardon?
Round one. Circle
Round
one.
one.
Sorry.
Okay, that's the shape. And you want to put a photo inside it?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you want to put a photo, first of all, I won't recommend the shape. Let me tell you why. First of all, this is a shape and this is a frame. Both are circles, right?
Yes.
But the frame is designed for putting photos inside it. So if I were to take this photo and put here, you know, it's not really going inside that shape. But if I put it here, it goes inside that frame. And then what we can do is we can do something called cropping, where I can move it around a little bit like this. Not too much, but I can change. So this is designed for images. So my recommendation is, if you want to put photos inside shapes, use this frames shapes that are there.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
So
going to say same.
any one of this. All right.
One quick question, Cajetan. How we
Yes,
can
Anand, you've
use
been very interactive today. Tell me.
how we can use Canva against PPT?
Again?
Against PPT, you know. Normally we make our official
Against
presentation.
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint, yeah.
Right. You want to use Canva to make PowerPoint, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so when you create design, you have so many options here. One of when you open Canva and you say create design, you can just say PowerPoint.
Okay, that's good.
All right. So a presentation that is 16:9. That's the standard presentation for PowerPoint, right? You can use this design, and you see now it looks exactly like a PowerPoint slide that will fit exactly on your screen. And then when you are finished with it, you can of course directly present it here. Let me move this bit.
The clock is there.
Yeah, the color, the time. Let me remove this. Right. So you can see that there is a direct presentation. And of course, when you click on the share button, you can choose to download as
PPT.
Oh, sorry. Let me add something and say share, download. And there should be a PowerPoint option somewhere here. Maybe it is.
Maybe it is MP4, PNG, JPEG, or PowerPoint.
No, it is possible. Maybe in the.
Close the drop down. Close. Don't do download. Close the drop down.
Ah, yeah, correct.
No, this is standard. Maybe it is on the in the Pro version. I have to check, but you should be able to download it as a PowerPoint. I've done it.
There is already your PowerPoint.
Yeah. I think here somewhere it will be PowerPoint. Microsoft PowerPoint, yes, here. If I search it, I can get it. So it will download it as a PPT file that you can then edit in PowerPoint. Sometimes it
Anand has a question. He's raised his hand.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that is clear for you, Anand, right? So you can download it as a sometimes it gets little alignment off a bit. You might have to do a little work in PowerPoint afterwards, but most of the work you can do quite quickly here, download, because so many elements are already ready-made available, more than Microsoft, and then you can work on it in Microsoft PowerPoint.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cajetan. One query I had, can we use shapes like triangles or circles, like small elements just to highlight part of it?
Absolutely. You should.
Is it brand compliant?
Yeah, any shape that, as long as you
like
can.
Like a circle or just like a circle. Can I add a circle in the somewhere?
Of course, you can use, for example, click on elements. Any of these elements that you see here, whether it's star, right?
Okay.
Change it to one of the brand colors. Use
Okay.
circle, put some text inside it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Understood.
that you can do.
Now, I just wanted to play with it, just a query. So let's say I use a circle and I use a triangle, and then I try to mix it together and then try to form a fish out of it. Okay, like a circle on top of a triangle.
Yeah.
Okay, is this okay?
Yeah, that's fine. As long as they're all in brand color compliant colors, there's no problem with this.
Okay.
Yeah, these are
you just
creative
wanted to
elements for
clarify.
you to create content the way you want to make it more attractive. Any of this can be used. Just stick to the colors that we discussed, right? And then you're fine.
And it can be transparent as well with just the borders.
Okay, there is a separate section on transparency, and I don't have enough time to discuss transparency and the gradients, but these are some things that you all can, as a next level, just experiment, because there are certain rules if you want to use gradients, and there are certain rules that you can use when you're using transparency. I'll just show you gradients. So when you come to elements, you can search for gradients. And there are many gradients available in Canva, but you can't use most of them. You can only use the gradients that you can recolor. And I know there is one which is it's quite difficult to find. Okay, this gradient, for example, is you can use it because you can see here, this gradient has two colors. And those, if you change those two colors to one of the gradient options that are available, for example, this I know the first color is 3B010. I have not told you about this gradient colors, but you can find them in the brand manual. 781327. So there are pairs of colors that you can use for gradients, and this is one of the acceptable pairs. Dark maroon to light maroon can be used. So there are certain elements where, but if I was to tell you to go to Canva and search for gradients, and let's say I use this gradient, you can notice that this gradient doesn't allow me to change the colors, so I can't use it. So there are certain gradients that Canva allows you to change colors. This one, for example, no option to change colors, so it can't be used. So search for a gradient that allows you to recolor, and you can use them. And there are some similar rules for transparencies. And that this one is, see, it has two colors. I can recolor it in one of the approved gradients. There is one called A9B2B1, one color, and the second color is F5, F5, F5. This is another approved gradient. But gradient discussion is kind of outside of today's scope, but you could use a background like this with a gradient, and it will be fine. The brand manual will give you better explanation about the gradient versions, but today we talked only about the primary colors, the three primary colors, the happy yellow, white, and black.
Okay, and last thing is there any way we can get that kind of card wherein we can download it somewhere and then print it for our own use? It's quite
This
handy.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can post it in the chat right now for you. Those
Yeah,
who are
that
still.
would be great.
Cajetan, hi, I have a question. I'm not sure if it's in the purview of the workshop today, but the current, your workshop poster had some letterings in the background, which I thought were really interesting. So I wanted to know how you can get those.
Okay, can you repeat that question?
So your workshop poster today, it had some letterings in the background, which were kind of transparent. It covered the whole background. And I found that very interesting. So I wanted to learn how to do that. I can share the reference if you're not sure of what I'm talking about.
No, I was just uploading the file for everyone to, I hope you all get it. You can print this and it will come exactly as the size of this business card. So you can maybe put a plastic around it and keep it on this thing. Okay, so you saw some, what you were saying? You saw some lettering on my...
Yeah, the current, the workshop poster today, it had some letterings in the background.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
understand.
was, yeah. If you
Yeah,
could kind of just.
This poster?
No, not this one. The one that has the workshop that you were conducting today.
Oh, that was not created by me. Ask the D98 team what they did. I haven't seen it. I just saw it, but it was not done by me.
Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Let me check what they had done. I think you're referring to this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the one.
Okay, so they have the use cool gray, that's for sure.
No, they have used Canva watermark.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that is very interesting. If you can teach us that.
So they have created this background and then they have made it transparent a bit. And over that, they have written all the text and the photo. But the person who did it would be the right person to answer the question because I'll have to do reverse engineering and I'm not very good at that. But maybe Pravina will share with you later on.
Sure, no
So they
problem. Thank
created
you.
word clouds first, and then they created an image, and they applied some transparency, I assume, and over that they did this. Great. So I'm done. Thank you so much, Pravina, and all of you all who were here with me throughout this 1 hour. I hope the
41 people still.
wisdom was of some wisdom. I was able to share some wisdom today to you.
Thank you so much, DTM, Cajetan, and I would also like Cajetan, sorry. I would also like to extend the gratitude from the entire District 98 for thanking you to help all of us, especially our VPPRs, to be 100% brand compliance and not anything less than that. Because as you mentioned, you see just 80% not compliance and only 20% as yes, but now we will try to keep it as close as 100%. And I would also like to thank all the audience to be wonderfully supporting and interactive throughout. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that you have really got so much insights about this because we all understand how important it is when we talk about brand. So I would like to request each one of you to please quickly switch on your videos so that we can have a group picture. Yes, I request everyone to please switch on your cameras. We have a great attendance today, so I'll have to take 2-3 pics. So please be on screen.
Srishti Agarwal, Pragati Veer, Suresh Tavade, Abar Raita Tha, Vrindavani Malik, our distinguished Toastmaster Priscilla.
It's great to see you. Okay, great. So thank you so much once again. And thank you so much, DTM Cajetan, for spending an hour with us. And yes, you very truly say that 1 hour is really less when we talk about Canva, when we talk about branding. And then it really gives us all reason to sit and bring that creativity on all the posters, newsletters, and everything that is we are using as a communication. So thank you once again on behalf of District 98 family. Thank you so much for helping us with this wisdom. And I would like to request everyone to please unmute yourself and give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much. and the recording will be shared with the PQD office. So I'll be talking to him, and I'll share that you all will need this recording. So definitely the office will take a decision, and it will be shared if it is approved. So thank you so much, and thank you everyone for being wonderful audience. And thank you once again for joining us on this Wednesday Wisdom. And District 98 will be coming up with all such important topics and subjects that we really need to understand and learn from the experts. So thank you, and I'll be closing this session within a minute. Thank you so much, and the platform is open for the networking. I'll be keeping it open for 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you so much.
Good night, Shubhratri. Namaskar.
Yeah, good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.